You know, if that mountain should move, if I ask the Lord, I believe it should. And if it doesn't, they must be something that I'm not totally giving to the Lord, because He told me that I could do it, I could speak it. So what am I lacking not to make that miracle happen? You know, what am I doing wrong that I can't ask Him when it happens? Because if it's in His name, it should work.
That's right. Amen. Yes. Amen.
What am I doing wrong? What have I not sought out that's in my life that I've not asked for forgiveness for, that I've not repented of? There's something underlying there that I've not wholeheartedly given to the Lord. There's some kind of resentment to somebody. I've not given forgiveness to something. Maybe I hadn't forgiven myself.
Right. That's right.
You know, how can I love something else if I can't love myself?
Come on now. That's right.
You know, if I can't forgive myself, I can't forgive nobody else.
Right.
And I heard it once said before, you know, waiting on somebody else to give you forgiveness is like taking poison.
Yeah.
And waiting for yourself to die, because you know that person may not ever forgive you.
That's right.
So you know, it's up to you to give that person forgiveness, and maybe that's something there that you've not totally given over to the Lord.
Yes.
For your miracle.
You might have to forgive them even though they don't ask.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you know, I believe in that wholeheartedly. If it says I can ask and it happen, I believe it should happen. If it happened in the Bible back those years ago, it can still happen today. He's the same today as He was then.
Amen. That's right.
And I've just got a few scriptures. I didn't have a whole lot because there ain't a whole lot. I mean, there's a lot you can say, but you know, there's a lot there. And in Galatians it says, I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live. Yet not I, but Christ liveth in me, and the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave Himself for me. If somebody's willing to do that for me, why can't I do it for them?
Amen. Amen.
I mean, He was the ultimate sacrifice.
Yes, He was. Amen.
You give up so much in your life for a fleshly person, why can't you do it for Him?
That's right, brother. Amen.
You know, we sacrifice so much in our lives for our family, for our children, for our loved ones. You know, we'll work our fingers to the bone for somebody that's not going to give their life for us. So why wouldn't we do it for Him?
Your job.
Right. Yeah, our job. We give our job
way too much of us.
100%. I mean,
way too much of us.
I give my job more of me than I do my family.
Right.
Would they do that for me? Absolutely not.
You're right. Your job would not do that for you. I totally agree. Totally agree.
And in Luke, it says, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine will be done. Even then, you know, the Lord, or Jesus went to the Lord and asked Him if thy will be done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so He's still putting his faith, His reliance, whatever you want to call it, on the Lord. You know, if it's your will, it will be done.
Yes,
you know,
amen.
So it's the same with us. If we're asking for something, we've got to move ourselves out of the way. When we get in a situation, what's the first thing we do? We try to take control and fight and try to fix that. I'm the world's worst. If something goes wrong, I'm the world's worst. I want to put my hands on it and I want to fix it. Instead of taking my hands off and backing up and surrendering and say, Lord, it's yours anyway. It's yours to fix. So why don't we ask Him, you know, if it's your will, let it be done, you know. So, I mean, we have to remove ourselves out of the way and total surrender. You know, a lot of times we ask the Lord to do something, and as Christians, if it doesn't happen right then or within the next day or so, we say, well, it's not the Lord's time.
He's always on time.
It's not His time to fix it. Well, maybe if we're praying for that miracle to happen, and we say, well, the Lord, it ain't His time. Maybe we need to search ourselves and say, Lord, why? What have I done that you ain't going to release this miracle and let it be happen? Because it's always your time. It's going to happen. So why don't we move ourselves and search ourselves and say, Lord, what have I done wrong to hinder you movement in this situation?
Right.
Well,
Amen.
no, it could not be you.
Well, yeah, but
It could be that God has to wait for, it depends on what you're asking for.
right,
He has to wait till that person gets ready, because if he moves before then, he'll destroy what you're trying to get.
right,
That could be one thing. And another thing, you gotta pray. Prayer is hard work. People don't realize it.
it's a lot of work.
It's hard work, and you got to do it continuously.
The hard things come by prayer and fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And fasting, I tell you what that fasting does, it gets your flesh into subjection. It binds Satan and all his workers,
Right,
and it helps your health. That's
Right.
what fasting does to you. That's why the Lord wants you to do it. Because you bind that enemy up, and when you bind him up, he's gonna try to fight you. That's just the way
Right.
that is.
right,
But we gonna win. He's never gonna win.
Exactly.
You gave that scripture last week, John 14:7 or 11, where it said that he's already been judged. His home is a lake of fire.
Right.
We have a chance. If we don't give up, if we fight, we will win, and we have all the tools to do it with.
exactly. But and when we ask those things and we believe that it should happen, you gotta ask, you're not gonna ask the Lord for $1 million if it don't happen, say, well, it's not the Lord's time. You gotta be realistic in what He'll supply your needs,
Not you won't.
not you wants.
There's a thing, a little caveat with that, and I hear you talking about that, but we are supposed to be following God's will.
Correct.
And I will tell you that is to me where faith comes in at. You can ask for things or whatever, but regardless of what you pray, I always say, Lord, if it be your will.
Correct. It's gotta be His will.
And I will tell you that is with everything for me, because even though, I might be praying for healing for a child that there's some little old baby that's on Facebook I've been praying for, and God may want her with him.
Right.
I don't know that, but I just pray and I say, Lord, I'm going to be faithful and pray
Right.
for the healing for this child, but in all things, Lord, let your will be done. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't think that that's a cop out or whatever you want to say. And I know that when we ask it in the Lord's name, it's done. I know that.
Correct.
But I want to pray within His will too.
Right.
And sometimes He just wants them home with Him.
Right.
It's sad stuff sometimes, but sometimes He just wants them home with Him.
Right.
So.
And when you say that, I always, like when I pray for my granddaddy, and everybody else, your family, my dad, my granddad, my granny,
Mm-hmm.
when I pray for them, and everybody's like, that's kind of selfish. Not selfish, but, why wouldn't you pray for healing? Yeah, I pray if the Lord, when I pray, Lord, if it's your will to heal them, but if it's not, you give them the time to make themselves ready.
Absolutely.
And if it's your will to take them home, you take them. I'm not going to be selfish and pray for them to stay here when they're just going to be sick. And mainly, if the Lord wants them, take them. Just give them time to get their soul right.
Agreed.
And I'm going to pray for the Lord's will to be done, not what you want of that.
Right.
It's selfish to pray for somebody to be healed, when the Lord may want them to go home.
Well, that's their future in this world anyway.
Right.
Where they ate the fruit in the garden, whatever time that was, that took away the future of this world.
Right.
It's destined to be destroyed at some point in time.
Right. But and like was mentioned, you got to have that. You got to be in His will and His, and in all faith, total surrender means you're putting everything in Him.
Right.
You got to have faith and believe in Him and walk for Him to expect for Him to just do everything for you. It's just not gonna work like that. And in Psalms it says, I'll praise the Lord. I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will show forth all thy marvelance. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praise to thy name, O Most High. When my enemies are turned back, they shall fall and perish at thy presence. For thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou sattest in the throne judging right. Thou hast rebuked the heathen. Thou hast destroyed the wicked, and thou hast put out their name forever and ever. O thou enemy, destructions are come to a perpetual end, and thou hast destroyed cities. Their memorial is perished with them, but the Lord shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment, and he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the upright to the people in uprightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, O Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. Sing praises to the Lord which dwelleth in Zion. Declare among the people in his doings. When we maketh inquisition for blood, he remembereth them. He forgetteth not the cry of the humble. Have mercy upon me, O Lord. Consider my trouble which I suffer of them that hate me. Thou hast lifted me up from the gates of death. You know, he's never going to leave us. He's never going to forsake us. He's always going to be there. But we got to put that trust in him. And in Hebrews it says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. But to me, when you look at that word diligently, you know, you can't just be a Sunday warrior or a Wednesday night warrior. You know, you diligently. That's it's an everyday sacrifice. You know, we've talked every other Sunday. You know, when I teach or Sister Crystal teaches, we always have a lesson. But you know, I've had sacrificial. You know, I mean sacrifice. You know, you got to sacrifice every morning. Sacrifice your time. Rest in the Lord. You know, it's not a one-time thing a week. It's every day. You know, you can't come in here and get what little bit you're gonna get on Sunday and make it last for an entire week. It's every day.
That's right.
Because I'm telling you, yeah, the Lord's good and he fills you up when you come. But I got to have a little bit every day.
Yes, sir, brother.
Every
It ain't
day.
enough. My
'Cause
devil
I'm
works
telling you,
overtime during the week.
I'm telling you, it's rough. Because when I walk out them doors, it starts all over.
Yes.
It's rough, but we gonna make it.
Amen.
That's what it takes to do it.
Amen. But we got to do it every day.
Yeah.
It's total surrender, daily, every day. And in 1 Peter it says, God resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober and vigilant, because your adversary the devil is a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. But the God of all grace, who hath called us into his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. You know, we read over and over, you know, that he'll be there for us. He's going to take care of us. He's going to take care of the situation. But, you know, it's all about being humble and giving it to him. You know, we can't take care of everything in the world by ourselves.
Amen.
We have to have mine. And it's just like when I have a situation that something that's bothering me or something where I'm getting weak, you know, I can go to Sister Crystal, but you got to be humble to go to that person and say, hey, look, I'm struggling right here and I need some help. And I need you to pray, you know, I need you to help me with this situation. It's the same with the Lord, you know, you got to humble yourself and go before Him and surrender what you have to Him.
Brother, I want to say something about that, all right?
Okay.
I was telling Jen this morning, I said if I could ever get down my routine like I have making coffee every morning, I would never forget nothing.
Right.
I mean, you got your routine that you, and when you think about the Islamic world, or you talk about the Jews over there in the Eastern world, they're just listening to everybody talk here this morning. It's a way of life for them to pray daily. It's not a sacrifice, it's a way of life.
Right. 5 times a day.
It's just like making that pot of coffee in the morning. You know, we chuckle at one another about it. If we don't drink it, somebody's gonna get in trouble. You know, but it is a way of life, a necessity that we say we need it. We need that shot of caffeine in the morning to make it.
Right.
But if we ever get focused, understand this is supposed to be a way of life.
Correct.
I went back and was just looking at a couple of scriptures of what even Paul said, that he went to the Lord 3 times about the thorn in his flesh.
Right.
And the Lord told him, said, my grace is sufficient. So if we ever get that big picture wrapped around that, it doesn't matter. When Paul talked about being beat, talked about being tortured, he said, but I feel that it's an honor to be persecuted for the Lord's sake. You know, I feel like, you know, that's the honor behind it. And sometimes and it's human, to think, well, if we come to church today, next week ought to be.
Yeah.
But next week is going to be whether you come to church or not. You just expecting because you come here that you're supposed to get a reward for it.
Right.
But the problem of it is, some people eat with dirty hands, so to speak. So it's a common thing for them to eat like that. If your hands has been washed and then they get dirty and you eat, you say, oh my God, my hands is dirty.
Right.
You're supposed to do that. So when you come to church and then next week if something happens, you can tell light from the dark. But
Correct.
people that walks in the dark, it's dark all the time.
It's
so to
normal.
speak. It's a normal thing. So in other words, it's no difference than you want to call it a game. I mean, Satan's trying to throw dirt on you all week long.
Right.
I mean, that's what he's
Right.
trying to keep it off of you.
Right.
I mean, but the thing of it is, it should be a way of life to say, I refuse to get dirty.
Right.
I'm gonna stay clean before the Lord. And I think that's the big challenge. I'm not doing it in return for something in this world. I'm doing it in return to see Him one day.
Right.
If that makes any sense. But He already said, you know, you'll be persecuted for my name's sake. He told me that from day one, you know. And He said, be of good cheer. I've overcome this world, and you will too. So I think if we get in the mindset of it should be a way of life.
Not a job.
Not a job. It ain't sacrifice. It's just a way of life. I never complain. The only time I complain is when we forget to buy coffee. And I feel the world has come to an end. Because
Correct.
I know what I'm gonna buy at the Tom Thumb ain't nothing like what I'm gonna make at the house. And that's we forget that.
Right.
I think we do in our walk, we don't not to be. But I told her, what you just did, I said, if I could ever get that down pat, I mean, I would be, but I'm flesh, and then
Right.
I'll never get it down pat. But if we ever understand that this is a way of life, it should be a way of life, it shouldn't be a burden.
Right.
It shouldn't be a burden to serve the Lord.
Like it says diligently.
Diligently. Shouldn't be,
You shouldn't get up and dread having to get up and hit your knees. Lord, my knees hurt today, I don't think I can get down and pray today.
Privilege.
Right. Right, you know, and it makes a difference when you get up, and like I talked a week or two ago about the rest, give that rest to him, you know. I got up the other morning, you know, and I prayed, you know, to the Lord, you know, watch over today, you know, and take care of everything we do. I get to the job site, and the first thing I do is I gotta get in the bucket and go up in by a power line and cut some trees. So what I do when I'm going up in the bucket, I'm just going up, you know, Lord, watch over everything, you know, Lord, don't
Yes.
take
Lord,
care of
go before
everything.
me.
What's the second thing I do? I cut a branch that was rotten, and when it went through, the saw fell through, and I wasn't expecting it. What happens? It just runs down my arm, and it hits in my palm of my hand with a leather glove on. Luckily, I had a leather glove on, but you done just pouring blood. You know, I said, Lord, you know, it could have been a lot worse. You know, all it did was just break the skin. You know, it just tore up my arm a little bit. You know. And then you got to stop and think, what if I didn't get up that morning and give the Lord that rest, give him my best, my sacrifice, that I had to get up and pray and put my coffee off for a few minutes. But what would have happened if I wouldn't have got
Ooh,
up?
conviction.
If I'd have got up and just went straight in there and made my coffee, you know, them few minutes, you know, probably saved a whole lot of hurting and surgery, you know. And so, you know, it's all about surrender diligently and sacrificing and resting in the Lord, you know. Because I'm with Brother Kenneth, first thing when I get up in the mornings, I want my coffee. And I had this little picture, it had a picture of a coffee pot, and it said, shh. And then it goes up and it says, almost, we're getting there. And then another one that says, you may talk a little quietly. And then it says, okay, we can talk now.
Right, you may
know,
approach.
But that first one, shh, don't talk to me, you know, because I am my coffee. So I understand completely about the coffee. And my wife, she's the world's worst, she's a penny pincher. And she come in one day and I told her, I said, pick me up some coffee while you at the store. And I can't remember where she was at. She was somewhere in one of them little old cheap stores. And she come back with some coffee and she said, I bought you some coffee. And so I went there and looked at it, and it was the cheapest mess I believe you could have bought. And I said,
Barely
well,
turned the water brown.
I said, I don't know what you do. I said, that ain't coffee. She said,
Living on the edge.
Coffee's coffee. And I said, no, it's not. I said, go and get you a cup of it. And she drank her some up. She said, my God, that's awful. So it's just like that with the Lord. You know, you give him that, your weight, you know, something that's not, you know, you didn't sacrifice. It's the same just like coffee. You give him your worst and it's going to taste the worst.
If it ain't Starbucks, it ain't coffee.
Well, sister, you on your own on Starbucks because I can't stand Starbucks.
Well, the breakfast brand.
To me, that stuff, that's the harshest. I mean, it just tastes burnt to me all the time.
Well, if you get the, breakfast blend, it's a little mellow.
It needs to register on a drug screen.
it.
I like it.
Well, now my coffee filter, when it's done, it's to the brim. When it's done brewing, you got to rinse the thing out because there's coffee grounds everywhere.
Sister Betty likes hers to register on a drug screen.
That's about the way I want mine.
Same.
When you get drunk, cut your hair is crawling on the back of your neck.
We'll make it a good day now.
Well, that's what I want to talk about today was that. That's,
It don't taste like coffee, I don't want it. I don't want soda water.
I want to drink tea.
We used to have a pastor, his coffee would be so weak and he'd come drink mine and pass out.
He said it'd make you go like this.
But I could drink his on it, mine, that was just colored water. I didn't like how it's not half nothing.
It just depends.
Yeah, thank you, brother.